say that again later?
Yes, I will want to say that later.
There's only 20 people, so
yes. Yes. So, anyways, I appreciate it. My producer and director and my better half. Thank you very much, TJ. So, let's go ahead and begin. I appreciate you joining us. Let's see if we can get this puppy going. Stephen Thomas, Quantitative Economics and Decision Sciences major from the University of California, San Diego. 29 years in the business. Orange County native, Capital Valley High School graduate at South Orange County. 9 kids, avid runner. Yes, you guessed it. I have. I brought 6. I had them all the time. My wife brought 2. She had them all the time. And I adopted hers. She adopted mine. And we had that guy right there. Bonus guy, Zeke. And we got a dog during the quarantine. And pretty much potty training her. She's really good at night. She has pee pads during the day. About 50-50, right? I have Alana. She's now producing and directing and telling me to stop looking at her. Do you want to say hello to everybody? Sure. This is my Alana Joe. She is one of my soccer stars. What's your latest juggle?
257.
257 juggles. I can barely count 257. That is awesome, Alana Joe. I love you. You're cute.
Thank you.
So I've been all over the place as far as press is concerned, and our company's Reports on Housing. It's your local real estate snapshot. Most reports read like the rearview mirror. I talked about closed sales last Friday. Probably talking about closed sales one more time this coming up Friday, but I had other things that I wanted to talk about this week. But most closed sales, I'm not really a big fan of talking about closed sales because you can't really plan on where you're going if you're driving in the car right now going, okay, I'm in real estate land, now what do I do? And you don't look backwards to see where you're going. You got to look forward. And that's exactly what I like to do. I like to look at it by telling you what's going on with the active listing inventory and what's going on with demand. Active listing inventory supply and demand is last 30 days worth of pending sales. That's the velocity of the market, so it's actual escrows. So based upon supply, inventory, and demand, we can come up with the expected market time. Place your home on the market today, when are you going to go into escrow? That's what's most important. Every buyer or seller should follow that for their specific area that they're looking and the price ranges they're looking at as well. And that's what the report does. It drills it down, and we talk about a certain subject each and every report. It's all about setting expectations of the market, because otherwise we use our own expectations and we rely on what is covered in the press and different things that people are talking about and stuff that we think about the way that the market should behave on our own. That's just not necessarily the way it works. Instead, we got to look at the facts, look at the data. It does not lie. I talked about that we weren't going to get this major price correction in housing based upon supply and demand all the way when we had COVID-19 lockdown. And why? Because of the circumstances of where supply and demand were. So I have a report, we have a report for LA, Orange County, Riverside, San Bernardino, and San Diego. LA and Orange County just got theirs yesterday, and San Diego, we're working on theirs tonight. There's a new format, an overall brand new look of the entire report. We've been trying to polish it up, and now it's coming to everybody's inbox. Riverside and San Bernardino, they will get theirs next week. We crunched the numbers for them this Thursday. The latest one that came out is Why Do Some Homes Sit? And it's all about sitting on the market and talking about why homes, they don't sell instantaneously, some, when we're in a really hot market. And it's not just the luxury ranges, it's from 0 to $1 million. Or 0 along the coast, or 0 to 650 in San Bernardino, Riverside. A lot of them are on the market for longer than 60 days. And why does that occur? So that's what the whole report is devoted to talk to your sellers, especially if you have a home that is not priced right, and it's for somebody coming on the market so they can learn, gosh, it really is very, very important to price it right. And you go to reportsonhousing.com, that's R-E-P-O-R-T-S, reportsonhousing.com, and you go there to subscribe. We do have an FAQ and sample report sections. There's a bunch of sample reports for you to take a look at the reports, and then it comes out every 2 weeks. So It's $15 per month or $150 per year, and you get a month free if you sign up using the coupon code PEAK, because that's what we're going to talk about today is peak, a peak that is occurring in real estate. So I'd like to thank our wonderful sponsor, Glen Oaks Escrow in Laguna Niguel. Hallie Packard is the business development representative. She can be reached at 949-607-7665. That's 949-607-7665. That's Hallie Packard. And Christopher Dell, he's the escrow officer and branch manager, 949-325-6934. And they have concierge services 24/7, 365 days per year, access to your escrow officer, always available for questions after hours on weekends. They have a pre-escrow service where they do preliminary title reports prior, and they do HOA docs as well. They have net sheets, they have floor plans and tract information, complimentary in-home signing services. And this was interesting. They have over 200 5-star reviews on Yelp. Pretty fantastic. And they have 14 locations to serve you from, and it's called the Pango Group, and it's Glen Oaks Escrow, it's American Trust Escrow, it's Escrow Trust, and CV Escrow. And they dot all the way throughout Los Angeles to the lower desert, down to Encinitas, and of course Laguna Niguel, Torrance, all that, Los Angeles. There's 14 locations. And I did it again. Note to self. Tell me to delete that slide, please.
Okay.
I have 2 new producers Alana has left, and now I have Athena and Mason. Getting ready for what?
Spring fun photo!
Sorry. Summer photo fun. I should change to summer fun photos. Maybe I'll do that for you. My little cute daughter, Sunny, aka also known as Athena. Here are some of those funny photos. Don't knock unless I married you, birthed you, or ordered food from you. Isn't this true? Haven't we all got used to ordering food online? Pretty spectacular service, if I must say so myself. I really have enjoyed that. Can't touch your face with a beer in each hand. I know, that's pretty good. So if you're worried about touching your face when you're out and about, if you have a beer in each hand, you're good. Pinterest trying to explain the coronavirus to crafty people in a way they might understand. If 10 people are crafting at a table and one of them is using glitter, can you guess how many projects now have glitter on them? Have you ever used glitter in the classroom?
Mm-hmm.
And it gets all over the place, right? They said yes.
Oh, burger.
So if you're doing crafts and it's like coronavirus, but it's like the glitter, it gets all over the place. Very good way of, yes, that's good. I have nodding children. Just when you thought the summer of 2020 couldn't get any worse, I think somebody fell asleep holding a beer in a chair. Wow, that's some good stuff. How about this one? Miami-Dade restaurants, gym closing to fight COVID surge. And then Florida schools ordered to reopen in August. But let's close down everything else, but the kids can go back to school. Let's talk about housing. The Southern California housing market. It is, the spring is right now, yet I compare to where we're at right now, we're in the midst of where the spring is hitting its most robust point, and then it'll start coming down from here. And it is extremely fiery hot in housing as far as housing is concerned. When I'm talking about things slow down from here, if there are buyers that are watching this and are hoping that things really slow down, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the most advantageous time if you're a homeowner, place your home on the market to take advantage of the low inventory and the hottest piece of demand that's out there. So Southern California active listing inventory, this is, by the way, we have brand new charts that we worked on. So these are our brand new charts. They look a little bit more professional. I'd have to say thank you very much to Matt at the Reports on Housing office. He has done a fantastic job. Look at this chart, looking good. So as far as the active listing inventory is concerned, you can see this is where we are right now. And July 9th, we were at 27,102. That was last Thursday. That was down 4% in 2 weeks. Last year, we were at 43,932. The difference between this year and last year is the difference between this purple and green lines. And as you can see, that's 62% more homes on the market last year than compared to right now. And this is why I don't really feel that we're going to slow down that much as far as the market is concerned. You're going to feel it a little bit as far as a homeowner is concerned. If you place your home on the market, it might take a little bit longer to sell, especially as we get into the fall. And we'll get into that in a minute. But you will not feel that much of a difference if you are a buyer. Today, 26,807. So we went from 27,102 to 26,807. That's down 1%. It's actually not even a full percent if I really look at it. But we'll call it a percent. And lowest level since May of 2013. So this is the lowest level since May of 2013. So we beat, this was a record right here, and since May of 2013, and this is beating that now. So COVID-19 is still suppressing demand, but that's changing too. Because like I was saying, the number of new for sale signs in the past 4 weeks, so I took last Thursday, went 4 weeks back and compared it to the 5-year average. So what happened in that 5-year average? Well, now that I'm looking at it, it's down 14%. So remember, we were as high as nearly 50% fewer homeowners coming on the market, entering the fray and placing their homes on the market. So it was for a long time, it was at 20%, and that was 20% less, so 1/5 of who would have come on the market wasn't because of COVID-19. But now everybody's hearing that the market's doing a lot better as far as real estate's concerned. It's only off 14% compared to the 5-year average. So the grip of COVID-19 on the homeowners placing their homes on the market is actually beginning to really diminish. So luxury, look at this, I've talked about this before, up 31%. 31% more homes on the market as far as luxury is concerned compared to the 5-year average. Part of that is, if you look at the 5-year average, 5 years ago, there weren't as many expensive homes. So, but that just goes to show you how much luxury is a part of the equation. People ask me all the time, what is your luxury amounts? It's near around the top 10% of the markets. In Orange County and San Diego, that's 1,250,000 plus. And in Los Angeles, it's 1.5 million plus. And in San Bernardino Riverside, it's 650,000 plus. Top 10% of the market. It's right around there. And attention homeowners, this is very important. I need to get their attention. Please, homeowners, I need you to listen up here. You are running out of time to cash in on the best time of the year to sell. It is really right now, as far as the best time of the year, as far as all data is pointing. So we have inventory, the amount it's dropping, slowing, so inventory looks like it's kind of like flattening out. And then we have demand that is reaching a peak. So the water's really good right now. The longer you wait, the slower it's going to be. So those people that are saying, yeah, I'll do it, come up this fall, you're going to be running into a market that is not as hot and vibrant as right now today in the middle of July, because we're reaching a peak. That's really what's happening. There is a peak in demand that is occurring right now. And speaking of demand, let's get into what's going on. It is absolutely rocketed from the abysmal days of during the COVID-19 lockdown, and that was mid-April was probably the worst of it. So COVID-19 is not suppressing demand anymore at all. And that's because of a myriad of facts. The most important, most significant fact is mortgage interest rates are so low. So, and they're at record lows. Last Thursday hit a new record. The week prior hit a record. The week prior to that hit a record. So you can see we're kind of like hitting a whole bunch of all-time records as far as low mortgage rates are concerned. So these are historically low mortgage rates. Their data set goes back to 72, doing this survey across the United States. And these low rates are fueling this big giant push in demand. And this is where we are as far as demand is concerned, right here. And July 9th, that's here, it was at 20,327. So it was up 1% in 2 weeks. Last year, we were at 16,119. And that last year is that purple line, so that's the difference between here and here. That's 21% less. So that's where demand was, 21% less. And inventory is way lower than it was last year too. So you could see with less inventory, more demand, the market feels a lot more vibrant, a lot hotter than it has in many, many years. And today we're at 20,416, so we went from 20,327 to 20,416, so it's like demand is tapping out. It's only up 0.4% over the weekend through actually today as I ran it. And that's pretty close to where this is, which means we're not getting a lot of push up in demand. It may go up a little bit over the course of this next week, but it's hitting that peak that I was talking about. It's still the highest highest level since 2012. And I just want to demonstrate where we typically peak. For all of Southern California, we peak as far as demand is concerned in the spring. Inventory typically peaks in the summer, and I'll get into that, but we're going to talk about demand peak because that's kind of where we're at right now. We're reaching that peak. And this is typically where we peak, yet demand came all the way down here, and we were working our way out of it, so there's been this delay as to when we reach this peak, because we typically, it falls someplace in here. So instead, we're pushing it all the way out to here. It might happen in this next report 2 weeks from now, or a week from this Thursday, and this will be the next line, which puts it pretty much spectacularly in between. You can see we just punted this forward, and now we're really, really strong demand, and this is where we're peaking. So we're peaking right around here, which would be normal. So this is where it's going to go for the rest of summer. And it's going to go slightly down, and because there are some summer distractions that are here. I've introduced you to one, the summer distraction. I have a summer distraction in front of me. What are the summer distractions? It's vacations, it's kids off from school, it's having the kids saying, I don't have anything to do, we throw them a book. Matter of fact, Mason's over here reading a book while I'm talking. But there are more distractions. It's still robust, it's just not as robust as spring. The reason why we had it more robust here is because we didn't have our spring. We punted it forward, and now we're going to start getting towards these summer months, but it's going to be summer month, because now we're going to hit a peak in about 2 weeks, and it'll put us at the end of July, or yeah, towards the end of July, and so that we only have like 30 days left of summer. And I know you're thinking summer goes all the way till September, but that's not necessarily the case. It's when the kids go back to school. Actually, I buy these photos, and this is a photo. School with mask, so back to school. This is coming to a theater near you, Mason. And yes, there are blended different there's different things going on. If we continue to go at the pace that we're going, we're probably not going to have any of this. We're going to have online. It just depends upon how bad it gets. I know LA County School District, San Diego County School District did this, where they don't have this, they have online only. And I'll show you some numbers in a second. But so this is where we're going to go. But then after the kids go back to school, what happens to demand? It starts to go down, and then we'll follow the normal range of demand where it comes down. There's a couple reasons for that. There will be less demand, and there will also be fewer homes coming on the market. A lot of family homes and the kids in school and all that stuff, they don't necessarily like to move the kids around during the fall and winter months. There is occasionally what I call an Oktoberfest, and that is when we get this little blip. And this blip occurs every once in a while. Well, the last time this blip occurred was 2017. We got a slight blip last year, and that's where we get this increase in demand in the month of October. Why in October, you may ask? The reason for that is because you can move in another time. You can move during the summer. That's the best time. So towards the, during the spring, closes during the summer. October, this is the fall, closes when? December. And why is it okay to move in December? Do you have vacation in December, Mason? He said yes. He has a holiday vacation in December. He has a couple weeks off. And I know my kids in college get like a month off, but they get a couple weeks off, and that's what we call halftime, because then on the other side of that, they start the next semester. So if you want to make a move, you can actually, it won't be that disruptive for as disruptive for a family if you make that move mid-year. And that's why you get this blip. But it doesn't happen every year, so we'll have to watch to see if that blip occurs and we get an October housing fest. So we'll watch those numbers, and I'll be talking about that in coming reports. And as far as the Southern California expected market time is concerned, this is where we're at right now. And this is the low since I started tracking stuff in 2012. That's at 40 days. So on July 9th, we were at 40 days. That was last Thursday. It was down 2. It was down 2 in a 2-week period. SoCal last year was at 82 days. So twice as slow. Or we're twice as hot. I don't know how. We're a lot hotter today. The market is a lot more vibrant. It is definitely robust. And it's the lowest, like I said, since tracking. Today, we're at 39 days. That's lower than July 9th. It went down a day. Remember when we were coming down like many, many days? We're going down a day, and the expected market time, you can see right here, what typically happens in the expected market time is it reaches a peak. And I'll do this, actually, the next slide is blank first. So when you look at this blank slide, you can see that what we do is we hit the summer months, and then it kind of like plateaus for the rest of the year. It looks like we're going to be plateauing someplace around here. We could go up slightly, like this, and then at the end of the year, until when we get to the holidays, we get towards Thanksgiving. What happens in Thanksgiving? Boom. Things really slow down as far as the expected market time is concerned, and that's the slowest point of the year. Doesn't mean that all of a sudden buyers get a total deal. It means that we go from an expected market time of like 44 days to 60-day expected market time. Still leaning in favor of the sellers, just not as hot as where we are currently right now. And typically, where's the best time of the year for spring? It's right here. It's definitely between April and May, and you could see it bottomed out in 2017 over here at the start of April. In 2018, it was between March and April, so mid-March. And then last year, the best time of the year was also in April. And when are we getting the best time of the year? It's going to be in mid-July. So what happened? COVID-19 happened, and it slowed us down, and now it's just brought our spring forward. So we're still having the spring, we're just having a delayed spring. But it doesn't mean we're going to go summer all the way through the fall. We're going to do what's normal and kind of go up slowly, and then it's going to spike a little bit at the end of the year when we get into the holidays. So Los Angeles County is at 49 days. That's up 1 from last Thursday. So it actually went up 1 day. It was at 48 last Thursday. Orange County's at 45 days, down 1. Riverside County's at 32 days, down 1. San Bernardino's at 29 days, down 1. And San Diego County's at 38 days, down 2. But they actually had an expected market time that went up from last Thursday to 2 weeks prior. So they went from 30, let's see, if this is 38, it was at 40, so they were at 39 and went back up to 40, and now they're back down to 38. So you can see, kind of like peaking as far as the expected market time also. It's not going to be like dropping like a rock and getting much, much hotter from where we're at right now. Because yeah, you see markets like this, 29 and 32, that is like almost an instantaneous market where instantaneously you get offers. However, San Bernardino and Riverside still have a buttload of homes that have been on the market for 60 days plus, which is just a tragedy. So for those agents that are actually subscribers to the San Bernardino Riverside housing reports, that comes out next week, this report is definitely going to help you as far as why are some homes not selling and they're sitting. I answer that question in the latest. Let's see, so it all boils down to the supply and demand. Because right now we have a very, very low supply and very, very high demand, and that favors sellers, and pricing is on the rise. And then it's gonna slow down a bit as the market wears on, and that's because demand starts to come down and the supply it kind of is going to remain flat, but with demand even falling, with supply remaining flat, supply will start to go down a bit as we get into the fall, and demand will fall about at the same rate. So that's kind of why you get that flat line as far as the expected market time is concerned. So, market overview. This is something that we definitely need to talk about. COVID-19. And people go, why do you talk about it, Stephen Thomas? Because I don't want to see this W-shaped recovery, because we actually need to learn from the errors in the past. So just like economists, we look at everything in the past. So we were beating the curve, and then we flattened it, but didn't flatten it enough, and now things are spiking again. So obviously there's something that happened, some disconnect from when we started to unlock things as to how free we felt. So we need to do things differently as we unlock here in Southern California, because we're all locked up, including San Diego. So that order came out where we are all locked up. I think that, what was that, yesterday, I believe? Can't remember. I think it was yesterday. Everything's a blur. But we just got to be mindful in going forward. So let's talk about the world in coronavirus. There are 12,300,000. That was last Friday. There are now 13,200,000 as of today. We were adding 199,800 per day for the 7-day moving average. So they take the last 7 days and they average it out. So what does it look like? It's now at 211,900. That's where this is. So it's still going up at a pretty rapid pace around the world. And there are some areas in Europe that are actually reigniting, kind of like the way that we are reigniting. So the United States was at 3,158,000 last Friday, and it is now at 3,407,000. So we added quite a few since just Friday. The 7-day moving average right now is at 53,700 cases every day for the last week. And I remember when we were at 32,000 right around here, and I was going, man, I hope this starts to go down. And we did start to go down, but it just wasn't looking like many other curves in a lot of Europe, South Korea, etc. And then we have, it was at 53,700. It's now at 61,000. So I said, 53,700, I misspoke, was from last Friday. It's at 61,000 now. So you can see now it's averaging 61,000 cases per day for last week. And this is the test results. I will continuously bring this until we get this handsomely below 5%. And yes, we do lots and lots of testing, but really we need to do more testing in order to get this below 5% positivity rate. And when you get it below 5%, it's easier to do contact tracing and things like that. As far as hotbeds are concerned, like Southern California and Florida and some other areas, this is for the country. The positivity rate for some areas is astronomically high. And in Florida, like Miami-Dade, it's like 20-some%. So you can see there really is an issue. Part of the issue is we've been saying at 750,000 might be good enough. It's not. All the experts are saying we need to be doing 1 million tests. And you can see we're slowly but surely making our way towards that in order to get this below 5%. And that's because we're dealing with an outbreak right now with the spread. They said Labor Day was a big thing, right? It's Labor Day or Memorial Day? It's Memorial Day. It's Memorial Day weekend and also 4th of July. So this is as far as California is concerned. We were at 303,000 last Friday. We're at 336,500 as of today, Tuesday. And we were averaging 7,990 cases for the 7-day average. And now we're averaging 8,900 per day. And I'm doing this just for LA, San Diego, and Orange County because I found a brand new site. And it's it's a California site, so the raw data is pretty legit. The more I looked at it, and LA County in the last 2 weeks they've had a 35% increase in numbers of cases, and hospitalizations are up 12% in the last 2 weeks. And oops, it looks like I did this in the wrong order. Deaths are at 15% because I did a copy paste. So they're all going to be like this. Deaths are up 15% in the last 2 weeks, and ICU availability is right now at 38%. So Orange County in the last 2 weeks, New cases up 79%. And even in my neck of the woods, we were like sheltered in like this bubble, but not anymore. The cases in, as far as where I live in Ladera Ranch, it has like quadrupled. So the numbers are really spiking. Hospitalizations are up 27% and in Orange County, and deaths are up 28% in the last 2 weeks. And ICU availability is better in Orange County at 41%. And San Diego last 2 weeks, new cases up 47%. Their hospitalizations are actually down 7%. And their deaths are up 17%. And the ICU availability is 33%. The problem are these brand new cases that just hit. And because of that, they got to join the club as far as all the counties. It's like 80% of California now can no longer go to the gym, can't get a haircut again, and they reversed the opening until we get until these numbers start to go the other direction. We all wear masks and we control the spread. So macroeconomic outlook, I just have a couple slides. People say, what do you follow it, Stephen? Bottom line is I don't want a W-shaped recovery. So I actually want to follow all the data because it trickles down to housing. And so that's what I'm looking at is macro, and then we can look at micro. And then this is US inflation. You can see inflation, not a concern. It's actually dropped. So it's not deflationary, but inflation's at a really good spot right now. So we don't have inflation going out of control. And that's a good slide, as well as this Dodge Momentum Index. This is commercial building. You could see commercial building was doing okay at the very, very start of this year, and now it's trailing down. So as far as commercial building is concerned, this trend keeps on going lower. So from month to month, it's actually dropped. And this is properties that are in forbearance. We're looking, it dropped from 8.39% to 8.18%. So it's 2 weeks in a row where we're seeing this drop. So we're seeing a drop in the number of people in forbearance. They're coming out of forbearance. Most of them are doing, they're not doing payment plans, but they're deferring it to the end of their mortgage. So knowing that, everybody, if you have a client that is going to sell their house and they were in forbearance, we need to ask them, were you in forbearance? And if you were, did you do a payment plan? Most likely not. Most of them, if they were in forbearance, are going to say, I deferred it. If they deferred it, they put it at the end of the mortgage. So what does that mean? If they thought that they only owed $500,000, yet they didn't make payments totaling $15,000, on the net sheet, not only do you have to put $500,000, but you have to put $15,000 on it. So they actually owe $500 plus the deferred payments of $15,000 all. So we need to ask them if they were in forbearance A, and did they defer the payments. Touch my nose, I need 2 beers in my hands. That's this coming up Friday. We're gonna have a Q&A section, a happy hour Q&A. So you go to reportsonhousing.com, and by the way, this is my last Tuesday video. I will not be doing Facebook Lives on Tuesdays, just going to be Fridays at 3. And that's just because of the times. Everybody's been a lot busier, and the content is not changing as much. So I want to bring a lot of valuable information. I wrote down a whole bunch of notes of different things that I want to focus on in the housing market, kind of like what I just talked about, peaks in demand. I have notes of a whole bunch of things. We'll just bring them to you one at a time. Good information about the housing market. So go to reportsonhousing.com and you click on subscribe, and you get a month free if you sign up utilizing the coupon code PEAK, because we're reaching a peak in demand. And there is an FAQ sample report section, so you can see some reports. And I'd like to thank Glen Oaks Escrow for their sponsorship out of Laguna Niguel. Hallie Packard, business development rep. She is incredible, 949-607-7665. And then we also have the wonderful Christopher Dell, escrow officer and branch manager, one of the most organized people I know other than my wife. 949-325-6934. And they have 24/7, 365 access to your escrow officer, and they have pre-escrow services, HOA docs and preliminary title reports, net sheets. They can get them to you in minutes, 24 hours a day, floor plans and tract information, complimentary in-home services for sellers. They've got a lot of 5-star reviews on Yelp, And they cover all of Southern California. It's not just Glen Oaks Escrow. It's the Pango Group, Glen Oaks Escrow, Trust Escrow Services. We also have CV Escrow and Escrow Trust. Thank you very much for your sponsorship. We appreciate. That's all. I know Mason wants to come up here. I can tell. Mason Edward, who sat here for the whole entire thing, reading a book and also paying attention, answering my wonderful questions. I appreciate that. What are you at juggle-wise?
29.
29 juggles, this kid. I'm telling you, I'm a soccer coach, and you think that I could juggle, but I'm not the best juggler out there. So this kid can juggle. He's 9 years old and can juggle 29 times. Pretty amazing. So we'll have to get Dina Rose up here next time because she just hit a personal best as far as juggling as well. I hear somebody running. I think here she comes. Oh, it's Alana. It's our master juggler.
Ziki's coming too.
Is Ziki coming? I have to. You can go if you want to, but I want to give Ziki the opportunity to say hello. Hey, Blippy. There he is. Look who it is. Do you want to say hello to everybody? Say hello.
No.
Say how are you? Can you count to 4? Remember, we're working on.
1, 2, 3, oh.
See, it sounded like it. 1, 2, 3, 4. You gotta move your lips a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you say 5? Say 5.
5.
5. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. We'll see you on Friday. And enjoy yourselves. Stay cool. And get some vitamin D. And we appreciate you. Thanks much.